This is the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less. Ever wish you could re-listen to your favorite interview or segment? Do you enjoy hearing older shows for the first time in years? Then the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less is just what you need. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show.
Yes, indeed, it is just what you need. I'm Jon Solberg. I am your host for the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less. Super excited to tell you that this episode is being brought to you by The Butcher Shop, purveyors of highly sought-after 100% Australian non-crossbred Wylara 9+ briskets. And as always, they are handpicked just for you. The Butcher Shop has been retailing the finest meats for the past 15 years. Every week, they ship out competition-quality meats to many of the biggest teams in the competition scene across the nation. Simply put, teams who use The Butcher Shop win. They win big. They win often. You may not be a competitor, but I know you still enjoy the finer cuts. Great news. The Butcher Shop is shipping some of the finest prime, dry-aged Australian Wagyu and Japanese Wagyu steaks to people just like you and me who aspire to be the kings and queens of the cul-de-sac. The Butcher Shop always has Berkshire, Compart Duroc, Allegiance Duroc, and Prairie Fresh all-natural pork in stock, and again, always handpicked just for you. You might be saying, John, all that sounds pretty fantastic, but what about something exotic? Rest easy knowing the Butcher Shop can get you an elk steak, a camel roast. I think they can get you some ostrich, some other exotic things. All you got to do is give them a call, and I'll tell you how to do that in just a second. Let's review all this. The best competition briskets? Check. The best pork selection? Check. Giving you better overall options to cook at home? Check. So give the Butcher Shop a call today, 850-458-8782. 850-458-8782. When you mention the BBQ Central Show, they're going to take 10% off your entire order each and every time. You can also check them out over on Facebook, facebook.com/The Butcher Shop. Don't forget, shop is spelled SHOPPE. The Butcher Shop, home of the 100% Australian non-crossbred Wylara 9+ briskets, always handpicked just for you. In today's show, we are taking you back to December 17th of 2013, what I think could very well be the best BBQ Central Show segment ever. And it closes up our series on the 2022 class of BBQ Central Show Guests Hall of Fame.
All right, joining me now, pitmaster of Warren County Pork Chop, Donny Bray on the show. Donny, how are you, bud?
What's up?
Well, we are just loving life here in the Big Cleve. What's happening? I mean, you are well decorated for the holiday season, Donny.
No doubt.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
I'm ready.
Now, are you one of those, maybe it wasn't even you, or maybe it was your wife. Are you guys those people that love to get decorated for Christmas, like right after Halloween, or like what's the deal out there?
Well, we would have, but we was running up down the road chasing horses.
Donny Bray joining me here on the show. All right, Donny, so we've got a bunch of different stuff here we can talk about. Obviously, you and Tim Grant involved in quite a heated Team of the Year race, as just led up a couple weeks ago down in Calhoun, Georgia. Maybe we could start there first. Either one of, if you win, you take Team of the Year. If Tim would have won outright, I guess that would have made for a little bit more of a dramatic win on his end. But nevertheless, he finishes. I forget the exact places now, a reserve grand, I think it was, and through the body of work over the course of the year, takes Team of the Year. As you look back on it, Team of the Year race, where are you? How were you with the finish at Calhoun? Was there any disappointment? From a competitor's aspect, how did you feel?
I wasn't really disappointed. I'll just say it like it is. The sun don't shine up one dog's ass all the time. So I'd had a really good run, and you just know it's going to happen. I didn't have a good cook. I wasn't on my game, and he was, and the cards fell where they were supposed to fall, I guess. So I really didn't have a major regret. I just, it would have been great if I could have conquered all, but the cards that were stacked up, it was just. It may have been a little bit more than mentally I could handle that way, but and I choked. So did I have it? I don't know. I mean, man, I tell you what, right there, that contest, Jim Berg, Scott Smith, all those guys in Georgia. And I'll say it. I think I've earned the right to say I cook from one end of this United States to the other, and that's the toughest group of people that there is. And to say, yeah, I'm gonna beat them, all of them, and Tim and Boyd. That's a big. I can't. I mean, that's just too much to swallow at one time without a keg of beer to wash it down.
Donny Bray joining me here on the show, Pitmaster, Warren County Pork Choppers. I guess when you talk to the top tier pitmasters, and obviously, certainly this year, you've proven yourself worthy of that praise. Typically, you don't hear guys just offer up the "I choked" in a competition type deal, but you went right to it. Were you embattled in the mind a little bit, thinking about what was at stake versus just trying to focus on the marks and hitting what you had done leading up into that contest?
I think a few things that I stumbled upon throughout the year that are just, like trying to like trying to stick a needle in a haystack type thing that I'd found. I don't feel like that I had my mind set to be able to reproduce those like I needed to. It's a very fine line. My whole thing I say is you got to learn how to cook it till it's done. So the perfect texture will get you further than any kind of a profile, flavor profile that's just would knock their socks off. And I think I missed that just a little bit. And I don't know, I was a little bit fatigued, and I don't know, just looking at it in my mind, looking back, it was, I did my best, and it was just one of those that wasn't 100%, and we just have those, but I don't have any regrets. I tell you, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I sort of missed Tim and Boyd. It was like I just felt like I stayed in bed with them all year, and it's like they become buddies. It's just the last couple of weeks I've missed that of looking online to see how they did, knowing what I did. It was a wonderful thing to have a race that went down like that, and I didn't come out of it with any regrets whatsoever. I wouldn't have dreamed that I'd been that far. But it was a wonderful, wonderful thing, and I hope everybody that cooks barbecue gets a chance to experience what I did this year.
I know last year's team of the race with Dan Hickson was kind of down to the wire, but this year's race kind of harkened me back to the 2009 when you had Pellet Envy and Iowa Smoky D's and I Smell Smoke in this three-way going down to Arizona to battle it out at the end. And, of course, Rod Gray ends up winning that in Team of the Year in 2009. And this one kind of had a similar flavor to it, all leading down to that final event. Looking at it, kind of pulling yourself out of the pitmaster's view, how exciting was it to be in that at the last event, knowing that really it all kind of hung in the balance?
I don't know if I can reproduce the excitement. I feel like I had the best seat in the house. Tim had his runs. I had my runs. We stayed relatively neck and neck. I know that a few things I learned from 2013 I'm taking into 2014. I had said, I need a break. I don't believe I don't believe my smoker had cooled off, and I felt like I was ready to go again. So we'll be back in Lakeland, Florida, trying to reproduce something. I'll say this in trying to keep it to where I'm not beating on anybody, but I really hope that the Midwest. I hope that they would try to hold Tim back a little bit, because I know that over here in the Southeast, there's some guys that have really picked up and got strong at the end of this season, and I know they're going to make it hard on me. And I don't think, Tim and I may have had our only day, but I know that he'll be back going strong at it, and I'll be going back strong at it. But I know there's a few more teams that's probably got the ammunition that they need to make their run. So we may be playing second string to them, but I had such a good time. To answer your question, I'm going to give my whole heart and soul to try to get back in the game for 2014.
Donny Bray joining me here on the show, pitmaster of Warren County Pork Choppers. WarrenCountyPorkChoppers.com, the website as well. You can visit there. Donny, you'd mentioned a little bit earlier you'd cooked from one side of the country to the other side. You're in Kentucky. I guess to some, its own region of barbecue, not the traditional meccas that you would consider when you're looking at the barbecue regions, but certainly a whole kind of a niche barbecue market, Kentucky, the mutton and so forth. Let me ask you this. As you cross the country, were you cooking specific flavor profiles for where you were at, or was it the same regardless, east to west and north to south?
Do me a solid, would you? Head on over to the BBQCentralShow.com and check out the rest of this show. I think this segment is, and always will be the current greatest segment ever to be on the Barbecue Central show, the really big show. So I appreciate it. Go check that out. If you want to get a hold of me, shoot me an email, John, Jon, at thebbqcentralshow.com. And as always, I appreciate each and every one of you so much. Thank you for listening. And until next time on the best moments of the Barbecue Central show in 10 minutes or less, I'm your host, Jon Solberg. I look forward to talking to you again soon.